but moving on, this is kind of related to the UNCC issue. Charlotte has had a spike in its murder rate. At this point last year, we had 15, 16 murders. This year, as of Friday, I don't think any more has happened.
I don't know.
No, there was just one last night.
48 now.
49.
49.
49. We're at 49 murders in Charlotte. I posed a question on my Facebook, and I'm posing a question to you guys. What is your thoughts and opinions on why this is happening?
This is... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is the price we have to pay for being a growing American city. It's really that simple. Charlotte is now a city of transplants. It's funny when you meet someone that's actually from Charlotte. It's like, oh, snap, you from Charlotte. The company I work for now, I am literally the only person out of about 300 people in that building that is from Charlotte.
Wow.
So it's a city of transplants, and unfortunately, you get the negativity from other cities, especially these large northern metropolitan areas. Baltimore, the tri-state area. It all comes down here, and that's just the price that we are currently paying. I don't think it's a culture thing. I don't think that it's gonna drastically drop. I think as Charlotte gets bigger, we're going to get more big city problems. We already see how the traffic is now. Our transit systems can't keep up. We already see what's happening with housing and gentrification, how expensive it is to live in Charlotte, and now it's just starting to permeate to other, aspects of social culture here in Charlotte.
Yeah.
One of those being, violence,
Right.
Especially as gentrification, starts to uptick in Charlotte. You start to have these sections of the city.
Moving to other.
Yeah, they've got to go somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere, right.
And and unfortunately, the negative elements move with them, and I just think that's just the price that we're paying in Charlotte. So.
I honestly don't have an answer. I get the whole transplant city narrative, but we're not the fastest growing city in the country right now. But I'm not seeing this getting played from the other big cities that are growing as well. I don't know if it's just a natural evolution of us moving together as a society. I don't have an answer. I just know that it's pretty doggone bad, and it's very interesting that this is happening now because McFadden, who is help me out. What's his title?
Sheriff.
Sheriff?
Chief.
Police, no sheriff.
No, he's sheriff. He's sheriff.
I'm sorry. Putneys.
This is his second stint as sheriff. When he was here the first time, crime dropped. The murder rate dropped literally every year when he was here as sheriff, and a lot of people attribute that to because he would actually get out into the community. Every time that there was a murder, whether it was 3 in the afternoon or 3 in the morning, he would go to the murder scene. And for whatever reason, whatever it is that he did, the murder rate dropped each and every year. So to see it spiking now in his first year back in office, I just think it's very, very interesting that that's happening. But I don't have an answer. I have no idea.
I don't have a real answer either. Mine is all just speculation. Let me be very clear about that. And there are two things I thought about when this was first presented to us, man. And one of the things I thought about was Charlotte's struggle with upward mobility, and people are struggling. You look at Charlotte. People from outside look at Charlotte, booming city. We have the banks here. There are people who are very successful who make a lot of money here. However, we all know sitting here, there's a huge gap between the haves and the have-nots in Charlotte. And I truly believe that the have-nots are stressed. I don't know any other articulate way to put it. When you put the stress of, I can't pay my rent, I can't find a job, this is slow, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills, I don't know how I'm going to eat, I don't know what's going to happen the next day to me. I truly believe this is taking a strain on a big population in Charlotte, and this is what the result of it is. Again, This is all speculation. I don't know what makes people wake up out of bed and say, I need to go kill somebody today. But going back to the UNCC discussion, I have this personal belief there is always a mental health aspect to people who resort to violence to solve whatever problems, or if they can't control their emotions. And I just think Charlotte's lack of upward mobility is a big problem when it comes to what we're seeing
And it
now.
creates all this proximity on proximity murders that happen.
Because people who have common sense know that people who kill each other tend to kill people who they live around. So don't get me started on this. You know where I'm going with this. So this black on black crime BS is just that, because again, whatever you live around is who you tend to affect. And
it's important to note that sometimes numbers lie.
right.
Okay, and they can use that to push the narrative, because they can say, well, hey, we're gentrifying these areas because, I mean,
Right.
look at the violence. Whereas, for instance, if someone said, you know what, there's a 25% increase in the number of murders in Charlotte, like, 25%, that's a lot. But if you have 50 murders one year or 40 the previous, that's a 25% increase.
right.
That's 10 more murders. That's such a finicky thing. There's so many factors in that, but they'll latch on to the big number, that 25%, and use that as a narrative. Look at the violence in Charlotte. So we have to be careful, because you're going to get people like McFadden, Chief Putney, who are going to throw these numbers out and say, hey, we need, and the police are already over militarized as it is.
Right.
We know what the police presence is like in Charlotte now. The last thing we need is for them to have a reason to increase that.
Right.
And I'm gonna do some historical things. Like, the most violent era in Charlotte was between 88 and 95. Spiking in 93 with 129 murders. Think about it. In 93, we were half the population with 129 murders. Think about that. And a lot of that was kind of sparked with the crack trade and everything like that, which I understand. And then recently, it was 2014, 2013, we had 40 murders for a whole year. And so, like, one thing that stuck out to me is a lot of these are people that know each other, and they stem from disputes. And so it's just like, how do you police disputes? Like, how can you, like, hey, you have an argument, let's go. You can't. And it's just like conflict resolution.
There's no real prevention. You know what I mean? But that goes back. That's why I'm so big on this mental health kick.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's the root. Any problem that you're looking to solve, my personal belief, you look at what the root cause of this is, man. And it just ties in to stress and to not being able to control your emotions when whoever pulls that trigger. And like you alluded to, man, that's not anything, I'm sorry to say, man, the police don't prevent that kind of stuff. It just is what it is, man. The best thing, the best way Charlotte local government can go about it, like Vince was talking about, why are we not going back into these communities, man? Why are we not engaging in our communities? Why are there not more things to do for our youth, for 18 to 21-year-olds in this community? I say that age range for a reason, because it seems like that age range is the ones that are involved in these murders, man. And I just think that local government needs to take a long look at that.
More opportunities, less people in the street, less people doing illegal activities for money.
That's it, man.
Your murder rate's gonna lower.
You got to keep people busy somehow.